Hello and welcome to India Business Hour. I'm Shireen Bhan. The top stories that we're tracking for you this evening. Dark rooms, no meals and beatings with a baseball bat. The police commissioner Visakhapatnam details what victims of a job fraud in Cambodia went through. Over 700 Indians have been rescued or repatriated from Cambodia and Laos so far. Victims rescued from Cambodia say they were forced to carry out cyber crimes at gunpoint and they took these jobs to escape unemployment in India. Go First may be headed for liquidation. Sources say lenders to the grounded airline are studying the option to recover dues following the withdrawal of the Nishant Pitti Ajay Singh consortium. Ashok Leyland plans to have a vehicle for every fuel type over the next 24 months. Executive Chairman Dheeraj Hinduja says he's also upbeat about commercial vehicle sales going strong through FY25. That's another exclusive tonight. 3 years after launching the real estate investment trust, Brookfield India bets big on urbanization. Managing partner Ankur Gupta sees a 10% headroom for growth in occupancy and up to 20% growth in rentals. That's an exclusive. The world responds in outrage as a retaliatory airstrike by Israel leaves over 45 Palestinian civilians dead. French President Macron calls for an immediate ceasefire. The EU's foreign policy chief says Israel must heed the ICJ's order to halt the offensive in Rafah. Delhi police say the private Delhi hospital in which 6 newborns died in a fire on Saturday was operating without a license. Did not meet fire safety regulations either. The hunt for the owner of the hospital is underway. Top police officials, including Rajkot's police commissioner, are transferred in the wake of the gaming arcade fire that killed 33 people, including children. Gujarat High Court takes suo motu cognizance. Cyclone Remal leaves a trail of destruction across coastal West Bengal and parts of Bangladesh. At least 6 people have been reported dead in Bengal. The Met predicts heavy rainfall in Kolkata and adjoining districts. The Met Department issues a red alert for northern India, says the heat wave will continue for the next few days. Conditions are favourable for the southwest monsoon to advance over Kerala in the next 5 days. Accused of serial sex abuse and absconding for weeks, JDS MP Prajwal Revanna releases a video saying he will appear before a special investigation team on the 31st of May, alleges a political conspiracy. Well, first up, the day's market action. We saw a last hour fall in financial stocks, which saw Dalal Street closing sharply off its record high. So the Nifty, which did touch a record high of 23,111, ended the day below the 23,000 mark, but just closing in the red. Similar story for the sensex, coming off its intraday highs, closing in the red. The Nifty mid-cap, though, did outperform the border benchmarks and closed in positive territory today. That was the picture as far as the markets were concerned. On to a CNBC-TV18 exclusive, the latest on the Go First insolvency case. We learned from sources that lenders are weighing on the possibility of liquidating the airline to recover dues. Now, this development comes after the Nishant Pitti Ajay Singh consortium pulled out of the race, leaving Sky One as the sole remaining bidder. Ritu Singh joins us now with more details. Ritu, so liquidation now likely as far as Go First is concerned. What are your sources telling you?
At this point in time, the liquidation of Go First seems like the most likely outcome for the airline, which filed for voluntary corporate insolvency a little over a year ago, with one suitor backing out and the sole bidder remaining in the fray. Now, we've been given to understand from sources that lenders to Go First are weighing liquidation for the airline, although no resolution has been passed to this effect just yet. This comes after the Nishant Pitti Ajay Singh consortium withdrew its offer for the airline, leaving just Sky One in the fray. Now, while Sky One did not offer any comments as to whether or not they remain interested, we've been given to understand that they have not communicated with the committee of creditors on their offer for the airline or any changes in it just yet. But even here, we understand that Sky One's offer in its current form is not acceptable to the lenders, given that it primarily hinges on compensation from Go First's case against Pratt & Whitney. So for now, the committee of creditors' focus is on the ongoing Pratt & Whitney litigation at the Singapore court, where Go First is seeking seeking nearly 8,000 crores in compensation. We understand that the lenders are soon going to seek a 60-day extension from the NCLT to complete the corporate insolvency resolution process, with the current deadline ending on the 3rd of June to continue arguing their case in the Singapore court, which at this point in time seems like their best bet for recovery of dues, because remember, Go First owes about 3,800 crores to financial creditors, and the Pratt & Whitney claims, if materialized, will more than cover the financial creditors' dues. The next meeting of the COC is scheduled in early June.
All right, Ritu, many thanks. As Ritu mentioned, Nishant Pitti of Ease My Trip has withdrawn the bid to acquire Go First. His brother Prashant Pitti, also a co-founder of Ease My Trip, spoke with CNBC-TV18 and said they are better off as an asset-light company. Take a look.
That's an individual call. That has nothing to do with Ease My Trip. So basically, I'm assuming that it is related to certain course of actions which have taken, and also a self-realization on our part that where we are much better off just being an asset-light business model. Anyways, it was from the personal side. It was not from the Ease My Trip side.
So Nishant Pitti and Ajay Singh consortium withdrawing from the race for Go First. Staying with aviation, Carl Airways and Kalanithy Maran will seek damages of over 1,300 crore rupees from SpiceJet and promoter Ajay Singh. This is in addition to the pending dues worth over 350 crore rupees sought by Carl Airways, which is in compliance with the Supreme Court's orders from February and July of 2023. Now, the total demand of damages and dues is nearly 40% of SpiceJet's market cap. Maran has also said that they will be challenging the Delhi High Court order which set aside the single judge bench order that had upheld the arbitral award against SpiceJet. The big newsmaker this evening, Ashok Leyland's executive chairman Dheeraj Hinduja says the commercial vehicle giant is planning a major expansion. Speaking exclusively to CNBC-TV18, Hinduja said that Leyland will have a vehicle across every fuel type over the next 24 months. Hinduja also added that the pace of producing hydrogen-powered vehicles in India is slow on account of cost and production constraints. Did reveal that Leyland is not looking for an external investor for its electric vehicle business just yet. Take a look.
We are also looking at hydrogen, we're looking at methanol, and we've considered literally every single type of fuel that you could consider. We have said internally that within the next 18 to 24 months, we should have all types of alternate fuels available. There is a lot of talk of hydrogen, for example, but when you look at the cost of hydrogen and when you look at the facilities that need to be created, I still believe it's a little far away. And immediately, electric seems to be the right solution for within-city applications. In the long run, hydrogen will make sense for long distance. So if you ask me if immediately we're bringing in an external investor, then the answer is no. Okay. And Ashok Leyland has the means to continue the growth of Switch. But in the long run, if there are good opportunities, we are very much open. With Switch, what we've tried to do is, again, optimize the facilities that they have with Ashok Leyland. But the money has really gone into development of new products. We are seeing demand not only in the Indian market, but many global and international markets as well.
Well, that's Dheeraj Hinduja on Ashok Leyland's plans. On to earnings. Torrent Pharma shares hitting a record high on the back of strong Q4 earnings. The company beat estimates on all fronts. Revenues grew 10%, margins expanded, profits were up 57% on a year-on-year basis. Torrent Pharma's management optimistic about growth prospects. They said that they expect to maintain double-digit growth in India and Brazil in this fiscal. Divi's Lab gained close to 4% and was the top Nifty gainer. This after reporting strong earnings in Q4. It beat estimates on all fronts. Margins came in at over 31%. Revenues up 18% on a year-on-year basis. The management says it expects to maintain its double-digit growth going forward. So that's Divi's for you. A CNBC-TV18 news break is now confirmed. Timken Singapore is selling more stake in its Indian unit. Sources say it's looking to offload 6.6% stake valued at 1,775 crore rupees in Timken India, which manufactures mechanical power transmission products for various sectors. The shares will be offered at a floor price of 3,550 rupees per share, which is a sharp discount of 10% to its last traded price. As per sources, the block trade is likely to occur tomorrow. ITC will hold a meeting with its shareholders on the 6th of June to seek approval for the demerger of its hotel business. Now, two proxy advisory firms have given mixed opinion about the demerger. Institutional Investor Advisory Services has advised shareholders to vote against the proposed demerger, saying that the transaction does not provide a complete exit from the hotel's business to the common shareholders of the cigarettes to FMCG hotels conglomerate. Now, this is because the parent company will continue to own 40% of the hotel's business. Meanwhile, InGovern Research has recommended shareholders to vote in favour of the demerger. It said that there are some uncertainties around the demerger, but they will be ironed out. However, it's cautioned minority shareholders about the royalty fee that ITC Hotels may have to pay to its parent to utilise the brand name. Now, 3 years after launching the real estate investment trust, Brookfield India is betting big on urbanization. Managing partner Ankur Gupta sees a 10% headroom for growth in occupancy and up to 20% growth in rentals. Speaking exclusively to CNBC-TV18, Gupta said he expects more corporates to join hands with the REIT after inking a 6,000 crore rupee property deal with Bharti Enterprises. Take a look.
As far as the REIT is concerned today, the leasing has been, we've achieved 40% of our next 18-month guidance. And I would say that we should beat that guidance now. Two parts are important. We don't only manage for occupancy, manage for overall return, which is we have to keep making sure that our headroom rental growth that we have is also achieved, because that creates outsized returns for our investors and to our own capital. So I would assume that these assets that we have used to run at 95-97% occupancy, and today we are in the mid-80s. So there's a 10% headroom to grow in terms of occupancy levels and a 17 to 20% headroom to grow on rentals.
Well, that's Brookfield's Ankur Gupta on their REIT. Onto a CNBC-TV18 special report. Dark rooms, no meals and daily thrashing. This was the ordeal faced by thousands of Indian victims of a jobs fraud in Cambodia. Over 360 Indian nationals have been rescued or repatriated from Cambodia after the Indian embassy intervened. Over 420 internationals have also been rescued from Laos. A warning to all our viewers, the following broadcast does contain disturbing visuals, so viewer discretion is advised.
देखिए मेरा पूरा ये पैर वैर का जो है इस पर पता नहीं कहाँ मारा है, सब पूरा खून निकल रहा है। ठीक है, ये देखिए मेरा ये उंगली टूट गया है, गामछा फाड़ के बांधा हूँ।
They were either beaten up with the baseball bats, confined to the dark rooms, or deprived of food for days together. That if they do really well and they're able to generate a lot of money for these Chinese companies. In that case, they even celebrate all that, and we have got the visual videos of the celebrations and the parties. The primary ownership of all these companies is with the Chinese. We've got the visuals, videos of the Chinese guys, and they are all identifying them as Chinese. Under them are the Cambodians.
And today we bring you exclusive details on how youngsters from India are being lured to Cambodia on the promise of well-paying jobs and forced to carry out cyber crimes and the physical torture that they have endured. Now, these youngsters say that they were paid around 1.5 lakh rupees to a local agent to get a data entry job and went to Cambodia. As many as 150 of these people are from the port city of Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. The police commissioner of the city, who you just saw, spoke exclusively to CNBC-TV18 on the modus operandi of the fraudsters. All the victims were coerced to carry out cyber crimes and Ponzi schemes by handlers who are suspected to be of Chinese origin. On your screen are exclusive visuals accessed by CNBC-TV18, which show you the place where some of these victims worked in Cambodia. At first glance, it looks like any other corporate office, but the victims say that soon after they landed, their passports were seized and they were forced to carry out cyber crimes. Visuals also show that scams were being run from a building that were in the heart of the city and not some remote location. We spoke to two victims of this job scam in Cambodia who were rescued and brought back to India. They did not want to disclose their identity, but they spoke at length about what they had to go through in Cambodia.
When we are unable to do the task what they had given to us. So the first thing was they used to beat us and they used to fine us. Like whatever the salary we are getting. So in that salary they used to fine us. They used to have a baseball bat with them, and also they used to be a security guard. Like if we are unable to do the task they had given to us, So they just used to come inside and they just used to put the gun in front of us, a point blank gun, and they used to blackmail us like if the same thing repeats again. So they may do anything, like they may keep us in the black, and they do whatever they want.
What is our job there is, we have to create a model, sir. Like we have to select a model from social media like Instagram or something, some other dating app. So after that, we have to gather all her pics, sir, with children, with family, all her pics. And by that pics, we have to create other accounts, sir, fake accounts, by using that. After creating the account, we should send friend requests for the persons who looks good and rich, sir. Once they accept the request, we should give to that account to Chinese, sir. Once we are grabbing them to Telegram, the Chinese will take the Telegram account and they'll manage, sir. They'll do what they want to do, but we don't know what they are doing, sir.
They've got a huge amount of our SIM card numbers, then our bank details and things like that. Many of our Indians themselves, again the gullible youth and unemployed youth, they have sold the bank accounts for a value to these guys, these scamsters, and they're all in their possession. So all these mule accounts which are there, that is another big issue we really intend to take up in the coming days with the Ministry of Home Affairs as well as Ministry of External Affairs. Unemployment was the primary cause, for these youth to, they were doing online search for jobs, and these fake companies and the agents who are there in and around in Vizag city, they kind of lured them and trapped them into these kind of job offers of data entry operators with a lakh of rupees as a monthly pay.
So beware of people making you offers. Please verify, do your due diligence. This is the cautionary tale of what goes wrong when you try and look for jobs that promise you many things but turn out to be otherwise. But the big national headline today, Cyclone Remal has left a trail of destruction as it tears through coastal West Bengal and parts of neighbouring Bangladesh. At least 6 people have been reported dead in Bengal. Heavy rains pounding Kolkata and adjacent areas. Suburban train services have been impacted. The Met Department has issued a red alert for northern India. It's warned that the heat wave will continue for at least the next few days. The IMD also forecasts that conditions are now favourable for the southwest monsoon to advance over Kerala in the next 5 days. Days after Indigo Airlines announced that it will soon launch business class seats on select routes, industry experts say the airline must price its business class segment competitively in order to attract more customers. Indigo will reveal more about its plans on its business class routes on the 18th birthday, which is in August this year. But Danish Anand is here with details that he has been able to put together by speaking with experts. Danish, which routes will be covered and what is likely to be the pricing strategy? What are you picking up?
Well, as per industry sources, Indigo is likely to debut its business class seats on 10 to 15 aircraft on prominent domestic metro routes like Delhi-Mumbai, Delhi-Bengaluru, Delhi-Chennai and others. Similarly, on international routes, Indigo is likely to start business class operations on Delhi-Dubai, Delhi-Singapore and Delhi-Abu Dhabi. Experts believe that in order to attract passengers from other Indian airlines, Indigo may initially price its business class cheaper in comparison to other airlines, and fares could be much lower than what other Indian airlines like Air India and Vistara are charging. Experts say that Indigo will face tough competition from global full-service carriers on account of better service and other passenger amenities like chauffeur service, dedicated premium lounge, dedicated check-in counters and extra crew members to cater to business class passengers. Such services also come with an added cost. Experts that we spoke to have different views on Indigo's decision to start business class services. While some experts feel that this is a very welcome step considering that how the airline has become the leader in the Indian market in the past many years, others believe that this is a good step, but it comes with different challenges. CNBC-TV18 reached out to Indigo for a comment and the airline said, and I quote, "We will have business class seats deployed on India's busiest and business routes," end of the quote. The airline is expected to reveal more on its business class strategy on the occasion of its 18th anniversary in August.
All right, Danish, many thanks. Coming up next, on India Business Hour, Bihar is one of the most important Hindi heartland states, and with 40 seats, it plays a key role in determining the final results of the Lok Sabha elections. A special report when we return. And you can catch all of CNBC TV18's news and updates on Facebook, X, Threads, Instagram and JioCinema. Delhi police say the private Delhi hospital in which 6 newborns died in a fire on Saturday was operating without a license. They also said it did not meet fire safety regulations. The hunt for the owner of the hospital is underway. And top police officials, including Rajkot's police commissioner, now have been transferred in the wake of the gaming arcade fire that killed 33 people, including children. Gujarat High Court has taken suo motu cognizance of the case. The accused of serial sex abuse and absconding for weeks, JDS MP Prajwal Revanna, releasing a video, says he will appear before a special investigation team on the 31st of May. He alleges a political conspiracy. Bihar is one of the most important Hindi heartland states, and with 40 seats, it plays a key role in determining the final results of the Lok Sabha elections. Bihar is in fact among those states where the BJP managed to sideline the once strong regional parties and assert its dominance. In our continuing series, Election Exchange, Santyagara reports what 2024 Lok Sabha elections mean for different parties in the state of Bihar.
Bihar was once dominated by regional parties like Lalu Prasad Yadav's Rashtriya Janata Dal (RJD) and Nitish Kumar's Janata Dal United (JDU), which provided key support to the governments at the centre. But in 2019, the state gave the BJP an overwhelming mandate. The BJP won 17 seats and its alliance partner JDU 16 seats. In contrast, Congress managed just 1 seat and the RJD didn't open its account. In all, when the dust settled, the NDA had 39 of the 40 seats in the state. The BJP is confident of bagging all 40 in the 2024 elections.
विकास के कार्य किए, लोगों को कमिटमेंट पूरा करने का काम मोदी सरकार ने किया, इसलिए जनता मोदी जी और नीतीश जी को वोट करना चाहती है.
RJD, which is a key ally in the India bloc, says the BJP has not kept its promises and its poor track record will break the NDA's hold in the state.
We're going to surprise everyone and we're going to win majority seats, and in result it will happen that NDA will not form a government in central. So it is one-sided. We have only cheated, we have only promised, but we have not delivered anything. Nothing. 0. Out of 100 they get marked 0.
Both the India bloc and experts add that JDU leader Nitish Kumar's track record of switching sides multiple times will cost him dearly. We asked BJP that very question.
बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ताओं से जो मेरी बातचीत हुई है मैं आपको बताती हूँ. उनके लिए बड़ा कंफ्यूजिंग हो गया है कि कुछ महीनों जो हैं वो नीतीश कुमार जी की तारीफ करनी है, कुछ महीनों उनकी बुराई करनी है. फिर अरे 2015 के बाद ही पहले बुराई करनी है, फिर तारीफ करनी है, फिर वापस 17 में शायद बुराई करनी है. 2023 से पहले मोदी जी से लेकर के बाकी बड़े भाजपा नेताओं ने कहा था,
नेता का नाम
मैं नाम नहीं बता रही हूँ, प्रधानमंत्री जी से लेकर के बड़े नेताओं ने कहा था कि चाहे जो हो जाए अब हम नीतीश कुमार जी के साथ वापस कभी नहीं जाएंगे क्योंकि उनके वजह होती.
वो मैं मानता हूँ.
ठीक है,
हम आज भी नीतीश कुमार जी जो बिहार के पॉलिटिक्स में एक बड़ा चेहरा है, इसलिए हमने समझौता किया, इससे कहीं कोई डिफर नहीं करता.
The people of Bihar, however, are more concerned and frustrated with rising inflation, unemployment and corruption.
वो असल मुद्दा महंगाई है. महंगाई सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा हमारे लिए है, जिंदगी के लिए है.
मोदी जी हमारे यहाँ आकर रोड शो कर रहे हैं, लेकिन उनके मुंह से एक वर्ड आप रोजगार का नहीं सुन सकते हैं. क्यों?
BJP says it has worked on these issues but has had to spend time and effort undoing and repairing the damage done by RJD.
आप समझ लीजिए, क्योंकि लालू जी ने पूरा डंप कर दिया था, क्योंकि वो चीफ मिनिस्टर बनने के बाद राजा हो गए, तो हम डेवलपमेंट कर रहे हैं. अभी तो डेवलपमेंट मेरा पूरा ही नहीं हुआ है. तो हम लगातार बिहार के विकास के लिए नीतीश कुमार जी के नेतृत्व में काम हो रहा है.
The India bloc, meanwhile, is banking on the anger among the youth over the armed forces employment restrictions brought in by the Agniveer scheme, which has mandated short-term enrollment and removed benefits like pension and medical facilities to those who are relieved of duty within 4 years.
Will you guys come up with a new recruitment system for the forces or bring the old one back?
The old one, the way it used to run.
BJP has sensed the damage this anger among the youth could cause and says the NDA is willing to rethink these restrictions.
उसमें राजनाथ जी ने बहुत स्पष्ट कर दिया कि इस पर यदि पुनर्विचार की जरूरत होगी तो होगा, इसमें कौन बड़ा बात है।
For BJP, the 2024 Lok Sabha elections is about continuing its winning streak. Experts say Bihar is important for BJP's grand plan to sideline the regional parties and assert its dominance in the state like it has managed in Uttar Pradesh. For JDU, these elections are about coexisting with the BJP without losing any more ground. For Congress, it's a fight for survival, and for the RJD, these elections are a way to make a comeback at the national level and lay a foundation for the 2025 State Assembly elections. In Patna, with camera person Swapnil Bandekar, this is Santya for CNBC-TV18.
On to the global headlines that we're tracking this evening. More than 2,000 people have been feared to have been buried in a massive landslide that hit Papua New Guinea on Friday. The incident wiped out a village in Enga province with damage extending for close to a kilometre. Rescue efforts have been a challenge due to rain, unstable ground and flowing water. Only a few dozen bodies have been discovered so far. Meanwhile, the remaining residents in the nearby areas are being evacuated as the region remains high risk amid rain forecasts. At least 35 people have been reportedly killed in an Israeli airstrike on a tent camp in Rafah. Israel claims it struck a Hamas compound with precision. However, it also admitted that civilians were wounded. The attack comes after Hamas launched a barrage of rockets into Israel, which were intercepted by the air defense system. Dan Murphy with more. Well, with that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of India Business Hour. But a quick note, a daily wrap of the top headlines will hit your inbox every day before we call it a night. CNBC TV18's daily newsletter on LinkedIn features the top 10 stories on markets, corporates, economic insights and financial highlights. So do subscribe and get the CNBC TV18 edge. But for now, from all of us here on India Business Hour, good night and many thanks for watching.